the beginning. Now that's better. Where was I? Once upon a time, there was a beautiful kingdom ruled by a kind king and queen who lived in Witchwood under Ooze. The kingdom was filled with sparkling waterfalls, cool forests, green meadows, and...
Skip to the good part.
Yeah, get on with the story.
You want to hear the story?
Yes.
All right. The story. Once there was a girl named Cinderella. She lived with her...
Rapunzel, it's down your long hair.
Excuse me? Did I say the girl's name was Rapunzel?
Well, no, but I thought.
Her name is Cinderella. It says so right here.
Oh yeah, Cinderella. Cruel stepmother, evil stepsisters. I know all about that. Hey, Cinderella, you can try your hair back up now.
Well, like she said, you know all about Cinderella. She had to spend her days scrubbing and cleaning when what she really wanted to do was enjoy the beautiful kingdom.
And surf the internet.
It doesn't say anything here about surfing the internet.
I don't care what it says. I like to surf the net and play video games and...
Okay. The point is, she was stuck inside all day cleaning, and this is her story.
I want those floors to sparkle, Cinderella.
Yes, stepmother. And when you finish that, you can do my math homework.
Yes, Esmeralda.
Hey, what about Bob?
Now I'm absolutely sure there's nobody here named Bob.
Sorry I'm late. Sorry, everybody. I know I have it somewhere. Here it is. The story of Twinderella.
Twinderella?
Yes, you see, if you're only telling them about Cinderella, you're only telling them half the story. I'm here to tell the other half, the story of Bob. Bob lived with his evil stepfather and cruel stepbrothers. They made him work at home all day. What he really wanted to do was, well, see for yourself.
Want that sweater that you're knitting for me, Bob, to fit perfectly. Yes, stepfather.
And when you finish that, you can organize my sock drawer.
Yes, Egbert.
And after you finish that, you can advertise my recipe box, and refinish the living room floors, and replace the window panes in the bedroom, and make that dry burr brief for the front door for Martha Stewart living.
Yes, Mortimer.
I wish I could hang out in the chat room.
I'll give you a chat room and get to work on that math homework.
I wish I could go outside and play baseball. Baseball? Well, nobody can play baseball like my two boys, least of all you. But Mortimer hasn't had a hit all season, and Egbert hasn't caught a single fly ball.
The umpires are blind.
Summer's in my eyes.
Come on, boys. Good to see your baseball game.
No, Bob, you stay here. You have the socks.
Stocks to reorganize.
Yeah, and after that, you can cut some firewood.
But we have a gas furnace.
So you see, things weren't going very well for Bob.
Or for Cinderella.
Until one day.
I beg your pardon?
Until one day. It's always how it goes in fairy tales. Things are bad for Cinderella and Bob until one day. Yeah, so why don't you just skip to one day?
You want us to skip till one day?
Yes!
Well, we're going to need some help from all of you if we're going to skip that far. Let's try. Cinderella
And Bob.
Yes, Cinderella and Bob were very sad.
Until one day.
Why don't you kids run along? This story is taking on a life of its own.
Just so us can come back. We'll be listening from backstage. Call us if you need us.
Right?
Is that for you, young lady?
No, but I can sign for it.
You'll do no such thing. Now go outside and rotate the tires on the Suburban.
Let me get
How did you know?
delivery for you, man. Royal Pass from Witchwood Underwood.
Witchwood Under Ooze? Why, thank you. Girls, come quickly. It's from Witchwood Under Ooze.
Underwood, what is it? Capital of the kingdom, silly. You really should study your geography. Read it to us, Mother.
Mrs. Cruel Stepmother and her evil girls are cordially invited to a ball to honor the birthday of Princess Petunia. Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Regrets only.
I regret that I can't get this brush out of my hair.
I regret that I have paper bunnies on my feet. Well, I want to go to the ball too.
Did you pay any attention to the invitation, Cinderella? Mrs. Cruel Stepmother and her evil girls? Are you evil?
I really don't think so. She couldn't even be evil if she tried.
Sorry, Cinderella. I guess you'll have to stay here and program the VCR. Now, girls, we have a lot of shopping to do if we want to be ready by Saturday night.
I have to go to the Gap Bath and Body Works, and then they do an Abercrombie.
Did you hear that? Princess Petunia's having a birthday ball.
To invite all the young ladies in the kingdom.
Well, not quite all. Not Cinderella.
Of course not Cinderella. That would sort of ruin the plot if she started banging around with cruel stepsisters.
The stepmother is cruel. The stepsisters are evil.
Whatever. My point is, she just goes and there's no fairy godmother.
Shh. They don't know about any fairy godmother yet.
Sure, like they haven't read Cinderella.
But what about Bob? He doesn't care anything about going to a ball.
You're right, we need some plot development. Hey narrator, wake up.
Oh, sorry. How's this?
Rapunzel, Rapunzel, it's down your own hair.
That's not right.
Sleeping Beauty, I've come to your rescue.
No.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
No, no, no.
Oh, I know. Look, here comes the UPS guy.
Hello?
Actually, everyone's here. I just thought it would increase the dramatic tension if no one showed up right away.
Oh, well, I have a lot of deliveries to make today, so I really appreciate it.
Okay, okay.
Where does she expect me to find a fennel at this time of year?
Mr. Evil Stepfather?
No, I'm Bob. Mr. Evil Stepfather is my evil stepfather.
Oh, well, whoever you are, I have a delivery for you from the Royal Palace.
I'll take that.
Somebody still has to sign for it.
Bob, you signed for it. You know I'm far too busy for that. Apparently, they didn't teach him how to sign his name at the Evil Academy. Boys, come inside. It's someone from Witchwood Underoos.
What is it, Father? A tax notice? A credit card offer?
Do we have overdue library books?
It says... Well, Bob, why don't you read it? You can use practice public speaking. In celebration of Prince Percy's birthday, Mr. Evil Stepfather and his cool boys are cordially invited to All Kingdom baseball game. Please bring your own glove and cleats. Regrets only.
I regret that I always run the bases backwards.
I regret that I never learned how to catch a fly ball.
Baseball game? Awesome, I can hardly wait. Just wait a second there, mister. Doesn't it say Mr. Evil Stepfather is cruel boys? Yes. And are you cruel?
I once saw him rescue a cat stuck in a tree.
When I knock kids down at school, he helps me right back up.
Sorry, my boy, but you are not cruel. You stay here and floss my dentures.
Now can I send out the fairy godmother?
If you don't, this play is going to get boring in a hurry.
All right, you can send her out, but Cinderella, you're gonna have to start sobbing first.
Whatever you say.
What's wrong, my child?
Don't make me explain it again. The audience has already had to sit through it once.
In that case, let's get down to business. What are you, about a size 10?
About that.
Fine. Now, do you have any small animals I can enchant?
Well, Esmeralda has some gerbils she's using for a science experiment.
Perfect. Let's go get them.
Fairy Godfather! Excuse me for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Fairy Godfather, you're on.
I ain't putting on no angel wings, that's final.
Fine, fine. Forget the fairy part. Just be the Godfather and get on stage. Right. I think we're ready to continue.
Bob, my godson. Is there a reason you're sad?
You're supposed to be crying.
Oh, sorry.
Try again.
Bob, my godson, what's causing you such sadness?
Prince Percy is hosting a baseball game, Godfather, and I'm not allowed to go.
This prince, should I take care of him for you?
No, I like the prince. It's just, well, I thought maybe you could enchant some animals for me, and they could help me make a baseball uniform. Then you could cast a spell over some produce that would turn into a carriage and help me get the Witchwood Underoos.
You're kidding me. He has to be kidding me. You're kidding me, right? Because if you ain't kidding me, we have a problem.
He wants to go to the ball game.
You want to go to the baseball game?
Do I want to go to the ball game?
Isn't that what I just asked you?
Well, yes, of course it is.
If you want to go to the baseball game, I'll take you to the baseball game. That is not a problem. But I ain't doing no enchantment. I mess with no produce.
Well, if you know another way.
Vinny, Nick? Bob, I'd like you to meet Nick, my chauffeur, and Vinny, my personal tailor.
Very pleased to make your acquaintance, Mr. Bob.
Likewise.
What will you be requiring, Mr. Bob?
He needs a baseball uniform.
Who do you like, kids? The Mets or the Yankees?
The Witchwood Underoos princess, sir.
No kidding.
Will you be requiring a hat?
Yes, sir.
Glove?
Absolutely.
And cleats?
Cleats and socks, sir.
Have you ever seen anything like it?
What is it?
This kid is the biggest feat I've seen in my life.
Is that a problem?
No, sir, no problem. Come with us, Mr. Bob. We'll get you suited up.
Have you ever heard anything like this?
I know. One night I'm sitting there, maybe I met my cruel stepsister.
Actually, she was an evil stepsister.
Whatever. My point is, I can't just be expected to sew a ball gown and drag Pumpkin all the way to Witchwood Under Ooze.
To be fair, Witchwood Under Ooze is just over there in the shadows.
Excuse me, does this concern you? This does not concern you.
Sorry.
Do you have the pumpkin? And she just walked to Witchwood Under Ooze. America is just over there in the shadows. You're missing the point. She has to make an entrance. You can't make an entrance on foot.
Oh yeah, and arriving in a huge pumpkin will make a real good impression.
An enchanted pumpkin.
Potato.
Here's the dish rag I told you about, Fairy Godmother. Do these enchanted gerbils really turn into a beautiful ball gown?
Oh, sure, we're gerbils. We can do anything. While we're at it, why don't you enchant Prince Percy so he falls in love with you?
Yeah, and then we'll enchant all the pigs outside so they can just fly.
Don't worry, Cinderella. When I wave my wand, you'll be ready for the ball. And if these two gerbils don't take you, I'll put them in the cage with Ethel's pet python.
Good evening, Miss Cinderella. I will be your gerbil this evening. Will you be requiring anything else besides the ball gown and the carriage?
Well, I always wanted a pair of glass slippers.
Glass slippers? Is she on her mind?
Remember, the python.
All right, everybody backstage.
Can't you just zap me right here?
I don't think so. First of all, I have to zap you out of what you're wearing right now into a ball gown. You want that to happen right here in front of everybody?
All right, I get your point.
Okay, you two, see if you can help Cinderella out. But,
Yeah, but
how good are your snake charming skills? Bye.
see ya.
And you all just sit tight. We'll have the new improved Cinderella back in a flash. Bippity boppity bye bye. Oops, sorry about that. I'll be right there. Hurry up. Coming.
Well, that's sad. My godson is on his way to the baseball game. Rats, I forgot to tell him about the deadline.
Well, that was somewhat embarrassing. Oh well, at least Cinderella's on her way to the ball. Goodness gracious, I forgot to tell her about what happens at midnight.
It's not fair. He gets to play baseball and I have to spend my birthday at a stupid dance. Everybody knows I'm the best pitcher in the kingdom.
Well, all those beautiful girls that came are coming to my house, and I have to spend a whole night on fish down. I just want to get on a dance floor and show my moves.
Children, there's a simple solution to this problem.
What?
Well, that is, I'm not sure. There is a simple solution, isn't there, dear?
Honestly, sometimes I ever wonder how you even get your shoes tied, much less from the kingdom.
I tie his shoes for your majesty.
Yes, he goes in double knots every morning, so I don't...
That's nice, dear. The solution to the children's problem is that Percy shall spend part of the evening at the dance, and Petunia shall spend part of the evening at the game.
Don't they need a royal decree to do that, dear?
You're the king, Roger. You can issue a royal decree.
Oh yes, that's right, I can. I've solved the problem. You may thank me now, children.
Thank you, Mother.
You're welcome, children. Attendance.
Are we going somewhere?
To prepare for the ball, Your Majesty, the Duke will need to tie his shoes with extra care.
Very well, off we go.
Hey, buddy. Has the baseball game started yet?
My name's Buddy is Percy, and no game hasn't started yet. It starts at 8 o'clock.
My watch is set for Jersey time. Is there a clock in this place?
Right over there. Now, if you excuse me, I have to be at the baseball field before my father throws out the first pitch.
Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me if the ball's begun? I'm searching for my goddaughter.
You too? I myself am looking for my godson, the woman of the trouble to her face at midnight.
What a remarkable coincidence. I'm looking for my goddaughter to warn her of what will happen at midnight.
If only the narrators were here to tell the children for us.
Well, like I said, there's no use crying over spilled, non-dairy, soy-based, milk-flavored pie. Let's go and find the children.
I'm right behind you.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Amidst 9 innings of excitement here at the Royal Palace, tell us, King Roger, what would be the key to this game?
I think everything will depend on how the first pitch is thrown out.
What about you, the Earl of Duke? The princess hit the winning run in the last game. Can she do it again?
Well, what the team really needs to work on this time is defense. If only they had a good shortstop.
I play shortstop.
You? You can't be at this ball game. You're supposed to be at home drying my socks.
Doing my income tax.
And doing something about my ring around the collar.
Wait a minute. Who are you anyway?
I'm Bob, Your Majesty, and I'm the best shortstop you've ever seen.
But Your Majesty, you can't play unless it's in the kingdom.
I do live in the kingdom. I live with Mortimer and Egbert and my cruel stepfather. Evil stepfather. I'm your evil stepfather. It's really not that hard to remember.
The invitation was sent out to all the men, all the young men of the kingdom. If he lives in the kingdom, then he's allowed to play.
You play shortstop, huh?
That's right.
Good job on my team. Now let's get this game started.
Announcing the evil Miss Ethel and her equally evil sister, Esmeralda, accompanied by their mother, Mrs. Cruel Stepmother.
Princess Petunia, how lovely to see you.
I wish I could say the same, Madam Stepmother, but you know that no one is more loathed here at court than your cruel self.
Unless perhaps it is your evil daughter.
Why, thank you, Your Majesty. What does loathe mean?
It means, what does loaf mean? I don't know, but it must be something pretty wonderful for the princess to say to us.
Announcing! Who did you say she was? I don't know. I've never seen her before. Well, announcing a beautiful young lady whom we have never seen before, who arrived in a pumpkin-shaped carriage pulled by giant gerbils.
Giant gerbils, gross.
Giant gerbils? Cool. Where is the young lady?
Here, Your Majesty, and I wish you a very happy birthday.
Cinderella?
Ah, I see someone does know who you are. Welcome, Cinderella. Beautiful name for a beautiful young lady.
Thank you, Your Majesty. You're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be at home, oiling my bike chain. And scrubbing out my fish bowl.
And sharpening my nail clippers.
Silence. Do you live in this kingdom, Cinderella?
Yes, Your Majesty.
My invitation was to all the young ladies in the kingdom, and Cinderella is clearly a lady. Come, join the dance.
Well, I never.
No, and I don't suppose you ever will. Let the dancing begin.
Can you believe it? A boy actually asked Cinderella to dance?
He must have taken pity on her.
I'm sure the only reason no one asked us to dance was because they were too intimidated by our beauty. They're just afraid we would say no. That kind of rejection is scarring for life. It's sad, really. They must be dying to ask us. After all, the princess herself said we were the most loathed young ladies in the kingdom. Cinderella may be dancing now, but she'll never be loathed the way we are.
To stop being stressful and come to join the dance.
Welcome, brother. You must tell me, who is that handsome young man?
That's our new shortstop, Bob.
Can he play?
She's turned 3 level play against those two.
I think I'm in love.
And you tell me who's that remarkable woman over there?
Oh, her? Her name is Cinderella, and apparently she reads giant gerbils.
Can she dance?
Well, so far she's danced a polka, a waltz, the jitterbug, and a tarantella.
Why is she standing there? Why doesn't she dance?
You haven't asked her yet, Your Majesty.
I have to stand.
Excuse me, Your Majesty, it's time to return to the ball. The baseball game.
I trust that Princess Petunia has her cleats on.
Absolutely.
Then let's play ball.
Well, boys, I see you managed to find dance partners this time.
Would you believe it, Father? Not only is Ethel beautiful, but she's as evil as you are.
She couldn't be as wonderfully evil as my Esmeralda. She said that my feet were spiked heels every time we took a step.
Ethel bit my nose when I held close.
Esmeralda pulled my hair.
Ethel picked my pocket.
So happy my boys are in love.
And what about you, Father? I saw you dancing with someone as well.
Well, boys, I found a girl who is cruel as I'm evil. In a matter of 5 minutes, she punched me in the stomach, called me a nincompoop, and told me she could make my life miserable.
Wow, Father, that's wonderful.
I'm so happy. Come on, boys, let's get back to the baseball game.
Are you sure you can play baseball in those glass slippers?
I could play with you cheering for me, even if my slippers are made of, well, I can't think of anything worse than glass.
Excuse me, miss. Might I have a word?
Why, certainly. Percy, you run along. I'll be there in a moment. What is it?
I forgot to tell you the most important thing. At midnight, the spell is off. You must sleep again, or your dress will turn into rags and your coat will be pumpkin again.
Did you honestly think I didn't know that? I'm Cinderella. It's the oldest fairy tale in the book. Everybody knows Cinderella's enchantment ends at midnight.
Oh, I didn't realize. Will you just be careful, my dear? You only have a few minutes to play ball.
No. That's all the time I'll need. Hey, Percy, wait up.
You mean you can dance like that if you play baseball?
Well, the dancing is to make my parents happy. What I really love is pinch hitting in the bottom of the ninth.
I heard you had a grand slam at last year's party.
Well, Prince Percy tells me you're no slouch yourself. I knew that if I ever, well, you know, fell in love or anything, that it would be with a shortstop.
What do you mean, Petunia?
You know, my dear, I can't remember the last time the children have had such a lovely time at your birthday party.
Yes, I wonder why that is.
It's because they're in love. Really, you are quite dense. Haven't you been paying attention to the play?
Oh yes, the play. Who are they in love with again?
Come on, dear. We don't want to miss the end of the game.
Come on, we can get him here. Give him your curveball. Why not?
I don't have one.
We'll give him a slider or a fastball or a knuckleball.
I don't have any of those either.
We'll just get it over the plate. Bob can't hit.
It's a truly exciting game, ladies and gentlemen. Prince Percy's team is down by 1 run with 2 outs to go in the bottom of the ninth. Bob has a full count. Here comes the pitch. He swings, and it's a base hit to shallow center field. The tying run is on first base.
Princess, 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 princess.
It seems that the crowd is chanting to put in Princess Petunia as a pinch hitter. And here she comes, striding to the plate.
Looks like Princess Petunia will win the game once again.
Don't be silly. Cinderella's going to win the game. What makes you say that? Hello, have you looked at the program? The play is called Twinderella, not Twinder Princess. The main character is always the one to hit home run. What play? I fear the nobility in this country. I really do. I only hope the prince marries Cinderella soon. Here comes the pitch!
It's a long fly ball deep into left field. It's off the wall. Bob slides into third and the princess is safe at second. It's a stand-up double for the princess. Well, this is an unusual move. It seems that Prince Percy's taken himself out of the lineup and putting in Cinderella. She'll be batting in, get this, ladies and gentlemen, glass slippers.
You see? Cinderella has to be the one to win the game.
All I see is that Prince Percy is willing to give the game just to get his girlfriend at that.
Stop. Come on, time out. I have to speak to Bob.
I thought I told you not to bother me here.
There's something very important I forgot to tell you. You must leave this party by midnight.
What, is it like some enchantment that will wear off when the clock strikes the final time?
Enchantment? No, there's no enchantment. But Nick, my chauffeur, charged overtime. You're not invited. You must leave the party by midnight. We have a problem.
But midnight is 15 minutes away.
They have one. Better hope she hits a dinger. Play ball.
Cinderella swings, and it's a long fly ball. Way back. That ball is out of here. It's a 3-run homer for Cinderella. Bob crosses the plate and
keeps on going.
Where's he off to in such a hurry? And look at Cinderella. She's running the wrong way.
She's running towards the parking lot.
He for me, but then,
I feel for you, my brother, for my love has left me too.
you mean Bob?
Yes.
Cinderella's lost slipper.
And Bob's wooden cleat. It must have fallen off when he ran away.
That's what comes from not tying your laces properly.
All we must do is search the kingdom to find a man and woman who can fit in these shoes.
But surely, my dear, everyone in the kingdom has feet.
My goodness, Father, don't you ever read fairy tales?
Let the search begin.
Enjoying the story, are we? Last time we saw Cinderella and Bob, they had just been transformed so they could attend the party for the prince and the princess.
Wait, stop!
What is it?
They've done the ballroom and baseball scene without us.
The whole thing?
Dancing, baseball game, glass slipper, muddy cleat, everything.
But we just went out to get some burgers. We were coming right back.
I know. Now where were we? Ah, yes. The prince and princess set out to crave for all young people of the kingdom to come to the royal palace to try on the glass slipper.
And the cleat, but things were not going well with the search. I don't understand. Why can't we just order the glass slippers in another size? I know a glass slipper set on the internet that has free delivery.
My dear, the only thing we need to order in another size is a brain for you.
Quite right, my love. My genius is a bit overpowering for most people.
So far, we've tried glass slippers on 4,642 feet. Not one is small enough to fit inside.
So far, we tried the muddy cleat on 4,643 feet, and not one is big enough to keep it from falling off.
I'll never find my princess.
And I will never find my prince.
I will never understand how these things tie.
Only we could go back to yesterday. We could have asked everyone at the party for ID.
We could have installed security cameras to take pictures.
We could have taken fingerprints and DNA samples. But we can't go back to yesterday, can we? What we need is more plot development.
You mean like the arrival of Lou, the UPS guy?
Lou, I'm so glad to see you. Have you delivered a copy of the decree to every household in the kingdom?
If he has, we might as well end the play and go home now.
Actually, Your Majesty, I still have 2 households to visit on the far outskirts of the kingdom.
So there is still hope?
Actually, no. The 2 houses belong to the evil and the cruel families.
Never mind that. Be off, Lou.
But it's gonna rain.
Remember, Lou, neither rain nor snow.
I thought that was the postal service. Excuse me, but I'm an old woman with a dark secret I've kept from many years. Now the time has come for me to reveal what I alone know. May I speak?
No.
I beg your pardon?
No, you may not speak. You know, as well as I do, that the old lady with the secret doesn't come in until the last scene. Now, be off. Sorry about that, folks. Now, let's peep in on Cinderella, shall we?
How many times have I told you, Cinderella, you have to wash the dark clothes separately? Our tennis outfits are not supposed to be pink.
We can't possibly go to the country club now, Mother.
We'd be the laughing stock of the kingdom.
That's the idea.
Very well. Why, Ethel, Esmeralda, and I go shopping for new tennis outfits. You stay here and rewire the kitchen.
And painting for the garage.
Why? It sounds like a suitor has been calling. I wonder which one of us it could be for. Come in.
I have a degree here, address to occupant.
I'm an occupant. I'll take it.
I've been occupant longer than you have.
It says to a cruel occupant. That's me. Hear, hear, all persons in the kingdom under 19 years of age are commanded to wait upon the prince and the princess in their palace ASAP. Please bring baseball socks and stockings.
I knew the prince would invite us back.
He ignored you all evening. He must be pining for me.
Come on, girls, we're off to the palace. One of you will be married by nightfall. And Cinderella, you stay here and do your chores. You really think the prince wants to see you?
I'm
sorry, stepfather. I really thought you could deduct the cost of anything you used to be cruel.
I'm evil. I keep telling you this. The boys are cruel. Do you know what the Royal Revenue Tax Service is going to do to me because of your blunder?
I was sort of hoping for jail time.
Let's lock him in the cellar for a few days, Father.
No, let's make him sleep on the roof in the rain. I have a letter for the evil household.
See, he knows I'm evil. What are you waiting for, a tip?
Oh, I'll just be going now. What's it say, Father?
Well, why don't you read Mortimer?
Hear ye, hear ye. All persons in the kingdom under 19 years of age are commanded to wait upon the prince and princess in their palace ASAP. Please bring baseball socks and stockings.
I'm not sure I have any stockings.
I knew it. The princess is in love with one of my boys.
It must be me, Father. She must admire the way I strike out with such grace and poise.
No, Father, it must be me. She must love the way I drop those fly balls.
Well, boys, there's no point in arguing. We must go to the castle to see which one she favors. Bob, you stay here. You have those taxes to redo.
Yeah, and after that, you can advertise my slug collection.
Wash all the windows.
I don't do windows.
Two more subjects to try on the glass slipper, Your Majesty.
And 2 to try on the cleat.
Show them in, ladies first. None of them are ladies.
Oh, great King Roger, I thank you for this honor. I'm not worthy to fasten the laces of your shoes.
Actually, anytime if you, wouldn't mind.
If you would step this way, ladies, we'd like for you to try on this glass slipper.
I really don't look at in glass. You wouldn't have anything in fur, would you? Either tiger or leopard would be perfect.
You misunderstood, Miss Ethel. The prince will marry any young lady who possesses a foot into that slipper.
I'll try it on. Let me through. Wow, my big toe fits perfectly.
Her feet are too big, I'm afraid, just like everyone else's.
Wait, my feet are smaller than hers. Let me try.
My 2 toes fit. Sorry, Miss Ethel, but your whole foot must fit in the shoe.
But that's impossible. Nobody's feet are that small.
You may go, please.
Are my shoes tied?
Yes, Your Majesty, but surely my daughters.
He said you may go. Now be off.
I feel this. This was the last house in the kingdom. I've never saw my princess.
He seems dramatic. Hello, Your Majesty. I brought my boys as you've asked.
Step this way, gentlemen. I said, step this way, gentlemen.
Oh, sorry. No one ever calls us gentlemen.
We thought you were talking to someone else.
We'd like you to try this cleat.
I knew it. The prince wants us to be on his baseball team. That's even better than marrying the princess. Give me that cleat. This cleat is huge. Are you sure she didn't put both my feet in?
Perhaps your brother should try.
Yeah, you always had tiny feet anyways. Perhaps if I wore 3 or 4 socks, it would fit fine.
One sock per foot, I'm afraid. Don't just get your shoe off.
Well, since none of my boys are playing on your baseball team, perhaps we could talk about one of them marrying the princess?
I'd much rather marry a troll.
I just married Dr. Trolls. I could leave you a number?
Yeah, all of you. Who are you?
If it please, Your Majesty, I'm an old woman with a dark secret that could shed some light on the problems of the princess.
How can a dark secret shed light? Begging Your Majesty's pardon, but it is common knowledge that the old lady with the dark secret doesn't reveal it until the last scene of the play. And we still have, how much do we still have?
2 more scenes.
2 more scenes. Well then, let's get on with it.
Hello, who are you and why are you walking the forest?
I'm Cinderella, and I run away from my cruel stepmother. I'm walking to the palace to beg protection of the king. There wasn't a bus for hours, so I thought I'd walk.
That's a funny coincidence. I'm running away from my evil stepfather, and I'm walking to the palace too.
Do I know you from somewhere? You look awfully familiar.
When I look at you, it's like I look in a mirror.
Yeah, exactly. Except your eyes are a different color and your hair is shorter and you're not wearing a dress, but...
And your feet are a bit smaller than mine.
My goodness, I've never seen such large feet in all my life.
I get that a lot. Shall we walk together?
Why not?
I guess there's no point in keeping these.
They'll only remind us of our misery.
I thought all these fairy tales was ended. I live a happily ever after.
I guess even in fairy tales, there are exceptions to the rules. Shall we?
Percy, Petunia, time for dinner.
Coming.
I tell you, my foot is killing me. I walked across the whole kingdom in one shoe.
Yeah, we'll try walking all the way across the kingdom in one shoe made of glass.
You mean like that one over there?
My missing slipper! Now the pain can be the same with both my feet. Now that's a big shoe.
Where?
Over there. I'd like to see the foot that can fit in that thing.
You see, you've been walking past it all afternoon.
My feet are feeling better already. Let's go to the palace.
I'm sorry I didn't have a fourth helping for dessert. I'm too depressed.
Me too.
Begging your majesty, there's two beggars at the gate begging for the king's protection.
Send them in.
Begging your majesty's pardon, but we are both,
Orphans.
yes, that's right. We are seeking refuge.
Do you see what I see? Your majesty, the shoes.
I know. They keep coming untied.
Not your shoes, Roger, those shoes.
My God's slipper fits perfectly.
And your foot completely fills the muddy cleat.
Well, I mean, that shouldn't come as a surprise. I mean, these are our shoes.
My angel.
My hero!
My shoelaces!
Hold it, everybody. Stop the show.
As you can see, there's a lot of kids in the audience, so we better skip all the joyful reunion and get on with the wedding.
Why? What's wrong with the joyful reunion?
You know, the kissing.
I guess we should skip the wedding. Won't you marry me?
And you will marry me?
Of course we will.
Silence, everyone. Now, I know this is the last scene, and I'm getting tired of following people around for the entire show, so I'm going to tell my secret.
What secret?
Years ago, I was the nursemaid for a beautiful woman and her handsome husband. The woman bore twin babies, one boy and one girl. Before the children could walk, the parents were carried off by wild beasts, and I was forced to give them up to the care of the cruel and evil households.
Does this story have a point because we're trying to have a wedding here?
That was many years ago, but I could still remember those children, for she had the tiniest feet of any child I've ever seen, and he had the largest.
You mean
That's right, Bob and Cinderella are long-lost twins.
sister?
Brother?
That means my sister will be my sister-in-law?
And that means my brother will be my brother-in-law.
Who would believe it? I know! I find her my shoelaces! That ties up all the loose endings very nicely now, doesn't it?
Thank you everyone for coming to tonight's performance of Twinderella. We hope you enjoyed the show. You were a great audience. We want to send a couple of thank yous out to Mr. Hernando, Mrs. Tanis, and our teacher chaperones, Mrs. Santee, Mrs. Lombardi, and Mrs. Neville.
We also want to thank Mr. Quarter, the high school custodian, for all of his help during our practices, as well as our performances. He asked that all of you push your seats up before you leave today when you exit. Another special thank you to Mrs. Schaefer and the rest of the PTA for their help during tonight's intermission with the 50-50 and everything. Thank you, Mrs. Schaefer. And last but not least, I would like to thank my co-director, Mrs. Curran, and Mr. Harold for all their hard work. I want to invite Mr. Harold up right now to introduce our students that worked on the set.
Looks good. I also want to thank Mr. Bernico and Mrs. Tanis for their support, and Ms. Moyle and Ms. Curran for their cooperation. I want to thank also the custodians, both the district, Lakeside, and the high school custodians for their help. Also want to thank the set design parents for their patience, and my humble apologies for late hours that we spent on making the set. Most of all, I want to thank my dedicated and hardworking set design crew. So to give them the recognition that they deserve, I want to invite them up here today. And starting off with Arian Variami. Some of them are not here, like Kevin Backman, Keisha Burgos, Stephanie Diaz, Deanna Field, John Josie, who's not here also, Guy Hutchison. Also not here is Brian Mena, Michael Milligan. And Caitlin Nicholson, whose birthday it is today. I want to thank you for coming out. And finally, Nicole Woodruff. Very much all your hard work. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I had a really great time working with you all. Please take a bow and thank you once more time.
All right, and now for the cast and crew of Twinderella. We have first our assistant director, Brooke Draghi.